Right, so if you could say your name, where you're from.
Hello, my name is Amhir. I'm from South London. All right.
And can you just say, I give you permission to use whatever I say in your right?
I give you permission to use all the good stuff I say that is not detrimental to me nor one spirit.
Okay. So, how many years have you been playing the drums?
I've played the drums off and on for 30 years.
And how did you learn to play the drums?
I just tapped on anything that I could get my hands on.
So self-taught?
Self-taught at first. But then I had, after I'd done 2 albums, one on London Record and one on Acid Jazz label, then I went to a teacher called Bob Armstrong, who's one of the best teachers in England, who teaches people like Phil Gould of Level 42, and a couple of many famous drummers and me.
Amazing.
For 5 years I studied with him. Yes.
So what inspired you to dance? What inspired you to learn the drums?
Play the drums. I didn't have to think about it and be inspired. I think it's just nervous energy, because when you're nervous you want to tap things.
Okay, yeah.
So I started like that. But I've always just always liked playing the drums. And then when I got a bit older, I suppose the image and like thinking that people think you're cool also helped. But I was already a drummer, so it wasn't that what started me going.
So how would you perceive the drum generally and its relationship to dance?
I think it's one and the same thing. It's because when I play the drums, when I'm doing it well, it's as if my hands are dancing, and the sound is just a byproduct of the hands hitting a surface.
Yeah.
But the movements just comes from somewhere deeper, and I'm just allowing that movements to continue. So I think, I gotta have to say this: I played years and years of drumming, and I couldn't really get it to click because I wasn't a dancer myself. Only when I started going clubbing and dance and became a punter, then I started to really see what drumming is about. So it's actually, and then I started playing percussion with DJs and dance, and only when I felt like it played, and then I understood what it's about.
So you're saying when you started to dance, then
the whole drumming made sense to me. I started just even the reason for why I play it became completely apparent. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And why is that? Is that because you saw the connection of how people connected like to the beat and to the rhythm?
Yes,
and that's right.
Yeah, basically the way what it is that I found that like beforehand I played the drums intellectually. So let's say if I played something for 8 bars, which is a very short period of time, I'll go, well, I played that now, I want to play something different.
Yeah.
Whereas when I went dancing, I realized that a good DJ plays the same thing for more than half an hour. And it's after your mind has heard it, it's the body's turn. So the body is not satisfied with 8 bars. Body wants to hear 800 bars and to allow. So that's when I started to realize that the drumming is not just an intellectual pursuit, and it has to be felt with the body, and it has to be played to the body. So therefore I can play the same thing for much longer now. And then I get into the nuances of the change. Instead of waiting for big changes, I hear the little subtleties, and that's what changes for me. And so
is that obviously? So what you've just described, is that the spiritual connection? Like the
I mean, I suppose so. It's because you have to just get into something for long enough that I suppose the relationship with the spirituality is the fact that in my way of looking at the world, spirituality isn't a matter of the mind. It's when the whole body becomes an instrument of observation. And then we don't just observe with our external senses. The whole body becomes, and when your body is very fine-tuned, it's capable of observing reality beyond what your senses give you. And I find that when I drum to the body, I have to become aware of that, and I'm actually allowing for that to happen for somebody else. So perhaps that level is a spiritual thing. Yes.
Would you say that drumming is like the backbone of most African music?
Most certainly. Well, I'll say rhythm is the backbone of anything that I find exciting. And so most certainly African, yes. Africans have got very advanced sense of rhythm. But, yes, essentially, drumming is the backbone of all good music. Even if somebody plays guitar, when they're very good, they play rhythm. They're not just playing melody.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So when you dance like with others, with live drums playing,
Yeah.
do you feel a connection with the other people that are dancing, or are you quite?
I most certainly feel like it enhances my connection with people. And I remember in the old days when I was going partying, I'd be in a dance hall with like a lot of people I don't know, and like girls that at the beginning they would be very like shy, and I would be very. And at the end of it, we haven't spoken a word, but they got smudgy makeup, all covered in like all the makeup is running, and I'm just like sweating from head to toe, and we feel like as though we know each other.
Yeah.
And not a single word has been said.
Yeah,
So it's
definitely.
like sharing that experience is what makes people feel like they're connected.
Definitely.
You know?
Okay. So when you play the drum,
Yeah.
can you manipulate people that are dancing to you
Yes.
to your drum?
Yeah. Basically, the simple theory is that the drumming is like in music, establishes a feeling of homeliness. Like if you keep repeating something, it gives people a sense of they know where they are,
Yeah.
and then they could predict something that's coming. So that gives them a feeling of safety. And then when I become very aware of that, then I can change and take that away from them, and that's they feel lost.
Yeah.
And then when I give them back that rhythm again, then they know where they are, and they go, then there's a sense of relief. And between that, creating that tension and then giving back that sense of security, that's my leeway to create psychological change for the listener.
Yeah.
And I manipulate that all the time.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's like, and it's really, if, on a slightly more technical note, is that people, when you hit the note one, the one on a bass sound, people recognize that as home. But when you take the one away, or you hit the bass note on something other than one, it's an offbeat, and people think that's the one, and then you're creating a sense of confusion in their head. So that's the more technical theory, why and how it works. Yeah.
Do you think that changing the rhythm,
Yeah.
so changing, like, say, the tempo,
Yeah.
can cause people to dance not differently, but like to use different body parts? Like, so, like, say a slower beat could cause
Yeah.
like channel certain energy
Right.
to make it the lower part of the body move, or do you know what I mean? Or a high tense, like more beats per minute,
Yeah.
could cause
Yeah.
a different
Well,
body movement.
Yeah, the only thing I can say from my own experience, and that's the only thing I know, is that when you play something a bit slower, then it's more legato, and it allows people to do these more like what I would call like the modern dance, or like a Tai Chi style movements, very elongated and like a leg, like a flowing moves. But when it gets a bit faster, then it just becomes like bouncing, and there is not enough time to get into the deeper movements.
Yeah.
So I've sensed that before. So I suppose when it gets faster, it's more likely to be that you're just bouncing on your legs, and it's less hip movement.
Yeah.
So that's as much as I have an experience of that I can say.
So a slower beat per minute, it creates more of a hip movement.
Yeah, more hip movement. There's more, space for circular movements.
And then do you think because of that different movement, it causes a different emotion, a different feeling?
Most certainly, most certainly. Personally, I found that when I'm doing things which is really slow, it's definitely a more like a internal, or but when I'm playing, when it's really fast, I think it's a bit, I just feel like it's a bit more like you have to keep up to be cool. It's got that kind of feeling, and it's more difficult to keep going. So
Do you also think when you play like really fast beats, some people kind of go the opposite and just they don't really dance, not like come out of it, but they're more like, it is internal, but like more they're coming into a trance,
or if it goes really fast,
and they're
then
not
it's,
moving like some people go like that, don't they? They'll like move really fast because the beat's gone really fast, or some people just go the opposite and just trance out like.
Yeah, when it gets really crazy and fast, then it becomes a bit like it's like the Africans in a circle, in a tribal thing. All right, see you later, guys. Yeah, so it becomes really like a tribal and like what do you call it, like trance dance.
Yeah.
And
Where you're moving less, you're just more like internal.
yeah, more like, I find that for me, it's like a journey. When it's slower, it's a sense of discovering my body and what makes the body feel open. And it's almost like finding the channels, like the meridians in the body, and you could kind of intuitively find them when you experiment with music. And one thing, and it's definitely to do with the type of music, because when you have certain musics, this is a side note, it's probably irrelevant, but I remember sometimes I'm very tired and I hear rhythms that have components that are like very well stacked.
Yeah.
And you feel like it gives you wings.
Yeah.
So it gives you like, oh, my elbow has a place to lean on this bit of the rhythm.
Yeah.
And my shoulder could go here. So it kind of actually could lift you and give you energy to uplift you when beforehand you perceived as if you didn't have that energy.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I think that's the power of music when it's good. I have to
really
emphasize that.
No, yeah.
I should be off for me, Martin.
You're off. Oh.
Okay, sorry. Do you want me to stop it?
No. Just give us a quick cuddle then. You. Yeah, just catch up. I'll catch up with this thing, yeah? All right. You off, Andy? Yeah, just quickly.
It's all right.
Oh, bless you. Fantastic. Thanks for coming.
So relaxing.
Yeah, it was nice like that. Yeah. Excellent.
We'll let you get back to your
Oh, yeah. This is
Sorry, I've just got a few more questions. Yeah, so you've already said that, you can manipulate the dancer to move however you want.
That's right, yeah.
And would you say you can create rhythms from watching a dancer? So maybe someone that's really spiritually in tune, you can watch them and kind of interpretate what their body's saying and create a rhythm.
Yeah, it's definitely...
Like the other way around.
Yeah, absolutely. I find that it's like, it's the same as it's like when I'm watching in a multiple numbers, when I see people dancing, that actually creates a feedback loop for me to kind of know that what I'm doing is actually suitable or not, and I adjust to that anyway. But most certainly, if I'm seeing somebody's dance, then I can understand or sense the communication that's coming through. Okay, cool. I'm just going to be finished in a minute.
No, yeah, thank you, yeah. So overall, how does it make you feel? Like, obviously, I've only asked you this, didn't I? How does it make you feel? Like, what afterwards, after you've played drums,
Right.
and you've made other people feel good? Like, what does it do for you? Like, does it emotionally?
Nowadays, I must say less and less because I'm used to it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like at least it's something I'm good at. I think my life wasn't a complete failure.
Oh, no. Well, I must say you're very, very good. I loved it tonight. I thought the drums were amazing.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's like you should sometimes actually play the drum kit as well. So on the big nights, we put the drum kit and the bass, and it just really gets really funky.
Yeah.
I kind of pride myself to be able to play the drums like a techno, like a DJ.
Yeah.
So you should come one day and
Yeah,
check it out.
definitely.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
What, and is that sometimes on a Saturday?
Well, it's always